Welcome, CommanderSmiths.
We are the CommanderSmiths.
I'm Adam Smith.
I'm Lowry Smith.
Here's Lowry with his deep ass voice.
I was trying that.
Don't worry.
Cousins.
Oh, this is episode 165 and is the episode of Barry White Lowry.
How y'all doing? My voice cracked.
Yeah, it did. It didn't even work out there.
No, it didn't. I'm just gonna naturally have the deep voice tonight. I'm not gonna try and make it lower.
It's kind of sexy. I'm not gonna lie. It's turning my cousin radar off.
Yeah, I'm super excited that we are like a 99% male audience and gonna get a lot of Twitter followers tonight.
So yeah, we basically spent 45 minutes of crazy family talk, which we did have on Unsnipped, but it won't be there because it really went deep on it.
Yeah.
Then what did we do? We spent an hour, 45 minutes, hour?
Roughly 45 minutes to an hour on trying to do a top 10 plus 5 for the Commander products. At the end, we were like, well, maybe we should just do Commander 99 or garbage. Not garbage.
So second week in a row we have Commander 99 or garbage, which is going to be with the Commander product.
Look, maybe I want to get this off my chest right now because I texted it to you. It was just like, this is a lot of product. Like, I don't think I like, excuse me. I don't like the product, the Commander product coming out with a set.
I don't think I like it either.
It's right on top of each other. They're coming out on the same day. Like, I get that they're thematically tied together, but I think I'd like a month and a half there.
Yeah.
And just
I agree, because
number one, it gives us a break.
Right.
There's so many new cards.
This is the month of, I think this will be the first time we've done basically a month of spoilers, because it's not even, we're not doing spoilers. We did Commander 99 or garbage last week. We're doing it again now. Then we got to do a top 10 of either this one or Strixhaven. And then we got to do the top 10 for Strixhaven. So we have 4 weeks, which we went from record-breaking month last month to...
That's probably not going to happen.
It's going to be one of our lower months, because it's like everybody's doing that. But we try to add the little twist in it by doing the Commander 99 or garbage and all that stuff. But man, it's... I don't know. Here's the two sides to it. I like it for the tweak we were doing with League, because... part of the complaint for us, Kaldheim, was there just wasn't a lot of... I mean, there was a lot of similar decks. Now we have a shit ton of kids. This is like Commander Legends amount of
our box league, we are having the Commander product Legends allowable to be your Commander, along with any Legends that you open in your Strixhaven box. And then we're also allowing any Mana Rocks, so artifacts, to be able to
from the Commander product.
So that's just like in your toolbox for League. And then
speaking of, if you want to be a part of the League, you can join the Discord by becoming a patron for $1 or more.
Plug.
We are going to be running that with, I know I've mentioned before, but we're going to try doing Spell Table a little bit more now. So possibly, yes.
We're gonna try.
We're gonna make an attempt at it. So if you really want to do the Spell Table, we're gonna attempt at that, so you can join the League. I don't want to do the tags necessarily right now, but I guess we could get those out of the way and just get to the show. So why don't I just hit those up since I already started, right? Maybe, yeah.
I mean, you're the boss. Whatever.
I'm not the boss.
Whatever. It's your show.
I say it one time.
That was me, wasn't it? I'm just gonna turn around and look at my beautiful framed sheet.
You got that. That is awesome, dude. Your War of the Spark sheet. And
I was pretty psyched.
It's not a quip. That's the funny thing about that. I told Cindy, I was like, it's really funny. we're doing the cast like 3 weeks ago, and Larry goes to like jerk off his tube back there, and then he's just like, where did it go? And then I text you the next day. I was like, did you ever find it? You're like, no. Did you even like ask or anything after that?
Yeah. I did ask later on that day after you had asked me. I was like, I had forgotten about it again, but she was like, yeah, don't worry about it. I was like, is it okay? I didn't know you were using it. I was like, yeah, it's a prop in the background. It's a little gag, a little joke.
That's
and
awesome.
So
it looks sweet.
Yeah, I think it looks really good. Pretty happy about that. And
yeah,
it was my wife got it for me. It was my birthday last weekend.
Woo!
And
Happy
this is
birthday to you. It was your birthday yesterday, actually.
Which would be 4 days from now when this releases.
4 days. It's not
3?
that far out.
Well, I mean, my birthday was on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah.
Everybody at least skips the first day and then they go to the second day. So that is my assumption. That's who I'm talking to, the people listening on Thursday.
What about the people that listen on Mondays? Because I'm noticing that on a tick up on Mondays. All of a sudden we get this like spike of like, this is when they used to release their episodes.
It means you guys need to catch up. That's what that means.
We moved to Tuesdays and now we've moved to Wednesdays. We made that joke before where it was like, eventually you're going to get back to the beginning of the week again because you're just going to keep going back and back. So we are doing Commander 99 or garbage. Larry, what are you drinking? That looks crazy.
Yeah, it is. Right. It is a blueberry chocolate coffee and vanilla sour from Collective Arts Brewing out of Stillwater. And
that looks sweet. How is it? Is it tasty?
You can taste a lot of the flavors here, like blueberry, chocolate, vanilla, coffee. So it's layered really nicely. I like it, but I don't love it.
Okay. So it'll be the only time you really get it.
Yeah, I won't get it again. But I'm glad that I got it. So
I am drinking a Lambrusco. I don't know.
What is that?
It's like a sweet wine. Yeah. I had it on the cast a month or two ago.
Is that? I don't know.
It's cheap. It's like $12 for a huge ass bottle. We brought Dory home this weekend. And so the plan was to have a bottle of wine and we're going to record ourselves talking about Dory stories. And then I was going to put together a video that we can go back to whenever we kind of miss her or whatever. Cindy had a breakdown last week where, I don't know, it just keeps happening. This happens when you have a close pup like that, but she let Isla out, our other dog, and then she felt like she saw Dory and yeah. So she came in. I was actually showing the thumbnail. What thumbnail did I do? What did I do last week? What was the thumbnail for our short?
The dumpster fire?
Oh, it was.
Oh no, the Notorious.
Oh, it was Notorious. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So I was trying to show her that, and I was like, "Oh, come look at this." And I was playing it for her, and I played it and looked back, and she's bawling. I'm like, "It isn't that bad." But yeah, so she cried there. So it's still effective. So we were going to do that on Saturday, but I got my vaccine early. So after I had talked about it, I got an email on like Thursday saying, you can get the vaccine on Saturday. And I was like, sure, sooner the better, whatever. So I signed up for that and went and got it. I was fine all day. And then at about the 12-hour mark,
hit you hard.
Yeah. It was body aches. And then I was like, am I just doing this to myself? Am I like psyching myself out to be like, I'm getting sick. Oh, I'm getting sick. And then that went to chills and then a full-blown fever. And yeah, it was pretty miserable, but worth it. It does feel like there is a weight that has been lifted off my shoulders a bit. I'm still a mask going out and all that, but there's something. I know it doesn't really take effect for like 2 weeks, but just getting it, just being like, it feels different.
Cool.
But yeah, so if you're getting I got the Johnson & Johnson just be prepared. That you probably got to take a day or two off. My neighbors got it at the same time. They had the same thing, except one of them was puking. So it was like, yeah, it kind of knocks you on your butt for a day or two. So that's what happened to me this week. I don't think there's anything else new. Anything else happened with you?
My kiddos got sick.
Yeah.
They both had a fever this weekend. So that was my birthday. Taking care of kids. Yeah.
Did you ever get worried that it might have been COVID? Like, did you guys think about testing with that? Or
I mean, it'd be so fucking quick. I mean, maybe, but I mean, so I just had my son going to daycare starting last Tuesday.
Do they make the kids wear the mask there at all?
No, the kids don't. The adults do, and all the parents stay out of the room and stuff like that. So, you drop them off. My daughter had a fever Thursday night. My mom came over Monday. So those are like how it would have happened. Either my mother, who is retired, or daycare, which is more likely, and kids are gross. And, and, my son has not been around them for a year.
Yeah.
And Elise is,
hasn't been around anybody since she's been alive, basically.
Yeah. So she's not been exposed to a lot of stuff. So it just makes sense that it's just like a fever / cold. And they, super tired Friday, super tired Saturday. Then little Lowry got sick on Saturday and day after Elise. And, I was just like, no, that's normal stuff. That's, you can kind of tell in my mind, like, cause like times on COVID happen differently a little bit. Like, it doesn't have to be so concise, but it's just very like, she got sick one day, he got sick the next day. I started getting a scratchy throat Sunday night. It's like Elise got it from Lowry at daycare, finally got Lowry, then I got sick from them. Like, so, but it was never, for me, like, I didn't really get sick. I just got like a throat thing, but I don't feel it anywhere else.
Sexy voice is all.
Yeah. Yep. And if that's all, if I'm sick to have a sexy voice,
dude, you might as well be sick all the time.
I'll be sick all the time.
You see that Friends episode? Did you ever watch Friends much?
Yeah. I don't like bad TV.
Oh, boo. You know what that is? That's anyways, I won't go into details, but I will. So Phoebe, she was a singer and she would play her guitar on yeah, you're interested, at the cafe, Perks Cafe, and she got sick and her voice, because it got all like nasally, sounded really sexy, and more people started like listening to her more, and so she loved it, and then she got better, but then she wanted to be sick, so then she would hear somebody coughing or whatever. This is a long time since I've seen it, so I'm probably not getting all the details right.
It sounds, but I mean, it's not a super in-depth show. Somebody drinking their coffee that had a cold, and she'd run over and start licking the coffee cup. That's kind of funny. All right. So, I mean, it's gross, but
so that's what you're going to do. Your kids are going to get sick, and you're just going to like start. I was going to go really
hug me. Yeah. Just hug me. Cough in my face. Cough.
You're like trying to make them cough.
Yeah. I'm going to squeeze you.
Like put lots of pepper on them or something like that.
That works. All right. Have you ever snorted pepper?
No.
It's awful. Yeah, I know.
I guess that's what you do in Farmington, isn't it?
I did do it in Farmington, yes. Random story, but I had an uncle on the other side say, like, there's a nerve in your nose that's why you like press up, and that'll help you stop sneezing. I couldn't sneeze at that time, but I want to try it. So I snorted pepper and did it, and it worked. But I just had to sneeze for like 12 hours. So I'm going like this.
So you're just walking around.
I was able to hold it for a while. Yeah.
Why are you doing a Hitler mustache, Larry?
It's History Month.
It's just History Month.
I don't, I think what I did was like, then I started snorting water and trying to like suck it in, suck it out, and like push it out. And it was work. Don't do it.
I did the snorting the pixie stick thing when I was young, but that didn't really do anything. Do you remember what's that German bar that we would go to where they had
gas
snuff?
stalls?
Yeah. I loved that because my past of tobacco and stuff, but the snuff was awesome. They'd if you guys don't know what it is, you can probably look this up online, but it's like they put tobacco like on the end of this plank, and then they put it up to your nose. I
call it like a diving board.
Yeah, and they snap it, and it shoots up your nose. So you're supposed to like suck in as they do it, as they count down, and then it gives you a instant buzz. It's pretty crazy. And this is in the bar. This is people that are working there that are just going around giving you snuff shots. Is what I call it. It's kind of fun.
I'll definitely and when we were in Switzerland, you didn't make it there, but ran into some random German people, and they're like, "Oh, do you do snuff?" And I was like, "No." and Jake and Grant were like, "Yes." And their stuff was so crazy.
I was huge buzz.
Oh yeah. I needed when we walked back to the hotel, I needed them to hold my hand. It really got to me. So
that's awesome.
I am not a tobacco user, so it really hit me hard.
It really got you. All right, let's actually get to this episode. Let's hit up our stuff here. So we do have a new patron this week. Our new patron is Christopher Maloney.
Welcome to the Meat Force.
Extra deep. Come on now.
Was it?
Welcome
I mean, I don't.
To the Meat Force.
I can't. No, you're just talking slow. Welcome to the Meat Force.
Now you just sound like the Giant.
Oh, the Iron Giant? I never saw that movie.
No, I was
Vin Diesel.
No. I'm thinking of Princess Bride. What is this? It's
Andre the Giant?
Yeah.
I'd be down with that. That's a compliment.
More a speech impediment to be able to do. You can also become a patron if you are $1 or more. You get into the Discord that also gets you into BattleBox League, where we are going to be starting that up for Strixhaven. You're going to open up either draft boosters or set boosters, and we're going to play games, and there are prizes and all that fun stuff. $5 or more gets you Proxy of the Week. Is there anything else that I always forget some stuff? Oh yeah. Also, we do Unsnipped, which nobody watches, but we still do it anyways.
Because we love you. This week's going to be 45 minutes of us not talking about something from this episode.
Yeah, that'll be for next week. You'll get a preview of next week of us arguing about that shit. All right. $100 lifetime. You get whatever proxy you want from when it's when it's each month for the proxies. There we go. Words aren't coming well to me right now.
That's fine. It's 11:47. We're totally fucked on this episode.
The free way to support the cast is to go to YouTube, subscribe there, get the push to 100. We keep getting more and more. Larry's curateds are going crazy. This last week curated MTG was actually it's this week.
You mean like today's? Heat Stroke.
Heat Stroke. That's a pretty sweet card. Is that a reserve list card?
It is.
That's what I thought. Okay.
So
that's a pretty awesome card. You guys should check that video out. Kind of has some interesting ways to abuse that. I like that a lot. Last week's Proxy of the Week was from Strixhaven, actually the Commander product, Monologue Tax, which you might hear about next week on our top 10 list.
Maybe.
That actually turned out pretty cool. Check out
I assume that's our number one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
The interesting thing about that video, if you watch that, is halfway through, it's kind of like we just did tonight, actually. Halfway through, I changed the design of what I was going to do. And so it was 10 minutes longer than it needed to be. Anyways.
It means we are flexible.
We do have a giveaway this month on Twitter because last month was our record-breaking month.
Yeah.
And what are we giving away this month, Larry?
And so on Twitter, if you like, retweet, and follow us, you are entering a chance into winning a Kiki Jiki Old Border from Time Spiral Remastered. And We are giving a Yawgmoth Thran Physician away, old bordered times Battle Remastered. If you are a patron of $5 or more, that is just a free. You don't have to do anything. You could just be lazy. You could just forget that you are a patron of $5 or more, and then you might win.
Yeah.
You might just get that lucky.
So then that is on Twitter. You can also, that's where you'll see the curated MTGs, where maybe a little bit more discussion of the cards. Also where Proxy of the Week show is up. Other fun stuff like Mail Day, Card Sphere stuff. Anything else we might think that is interesting, not sharing with Adam. Although I haven't seen a lot of not sharing with Adams lately because
I did it last night.
Oh, you did?
With this.
See how often I'm on Twitter right now.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can direct message us there or shoot us an email at Gmail, which is CommanderSmiths@gmail.com. All right. That should do it. Now I got to find my buttons. Okay. I think that's it. So let's do it. It's time for everyone's favorite game show.
That feels
Stump
good.
The Smith Savant.
I like this song. Oh, so you know how I'm like 2 months behind on our podcast? I'm like back in like February or December right now. And when we were first, or like, Meg, we brought up like having Drew Carey do like a guest spot on this. And I'm like, that's still a really good idea. So
it's funny because you keep bringing that, like, you keep thinking of things. You're like, oh, I remember I said that like 2 months ago. We should still do that.
We should still do this. So we have good ideas. We probably should write them down.
Or we just need somebody that handles that for us.
Ooh, we need a handler.
We need a handler. We definitely need a handler.
Number 2.
Yeah. All right. If you guys don't know how Stump the Smith Savant works, I am going to read the flavor text of a card. Lowry is going to try to guess the card by asking yes or no questions. Every wrong guess, he gets to hear this.
Wrong, 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 wrong.
Every right guess, he hears this.
Hello, boobies.
Minus 10 points to wrong guess, minus 5 for every clue that I give him. He starts out with 100 points. We never keep score, so it doesn't matter. This week is a special one. It is from AJ. Mr. AJ sent a nice little Stump the Smith Savant. We're just going to do one today again because we have a lot to talk about. So let's get to that. All right, right, Lowry?
Let's do it.
I got to zoom in here. All right. Absolute power is the only true authority. Anything less is a lie told by the weak. Garuk Wild Speaker.
I feel like I've heard this or read it.
Absolute power is the only true authority. Anything less is a lie told by the weak. Garuk Wild Speaker.
Is this card green?
Wrong, 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 wrong.
Absolute power. Makes it feel like it's black though, then, because they like that. Is it a black card?
Wrong, wrong,
Thick.
wrong, wrong.
Is it a permanent card?
Hello, boobies.
It is a permanent. It's probably not a planeswalker because they write so many fucking words on there that they don't have flavor text.
Yeah, I have tried to find planeswalkers, and there isn't a lot of them.
Yeah, they're getting more words on them nowadays, and then flip carding them. It's just
those
like,
are the only
Jesus.
ones that you can really find. It is when they're not a planeswalker on the front,
Yeah,
and then they flip over to one.
I can see that. Okay, so it's a permanent card. It's not green. It's not black. Absolute power.
Do you want a clue?
I'll take a clue. Yeah.
Can go in basically every deck.
Is this a land?
Hello, boobies.
All right. Wow, he's quoted on a land. I would not have known that. Absolute power
is the only true authority. Anything less is a lie told by the weak. Garuk Wild Speaker.
It's not like Command
AKA
Tower. We've already done
Garuk's
Command
Dong.
Tower, right? Garuk's Dong talks.
What were you saying?
It's not Command Tower again, right?
Hello, boobies.
Is it really?
Yeah.
We've already done Command Tower.
This is not the command tower. It's the command tower from the collection green.
Oh, that would have been really tough. Yeah.
So
Right
the next
on,
clue
right
is
on.
going to be well, you already got the Island, and then art features a tall building because that's actually that kind of helps you.
Has a green hue to it for some reason. That's what makes it green and fits in. Love it. Love it. Thank you, AJ.
Yep, and that is going to be it for. It's time for everyone's favorite game show, Stump the Smith Savant. Now we get into everybody's next favorite, or Adam and Lowry's favorite.
I don't know about everybody else.
Who am I? Your commander.
99 problems, but a bitch ain't one.
You're garbage! You sick old woman! Muff garbage! Muff cabbage!
So I said this precast stuff, but the funny thing is the third time that played last week, watching the video of Lowry, his face changes. He's like, oh man, that was a little aggressive, but it took the third time before it kicked in. It's like, man,
I'm actually listening. I'm like, well, somebody posted the definition of muff garbage on Discord.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah,
I didn't see that.
Yeah, that was.
You're like, it's a Jaw thing.
No, I think it was Gwen.
I was gonna say Gwen.
It was either Jaw or Gwen. It was a discussion. They're both there.
All right. So the funny, really behind the curtain of this too, for some odd reason, our video doesn't pick up the buttons as well. So I had to cut that part, like when I did the intro for the YouTube last week, and plug in the actual audio. Holy crap, it got so loud. And like if you watch the YouTubes, it's like really aggressive because it just,
and we're like
all right, so we are doing what we did last week. We are going to go through these cards, and to be honest with you, I've seen a lot of these, but I haven't registered them like we normally do, like we did last week. So I'm going to be going off the cuff here of what I think is, like last week I knew which ones I kind of liked and which ones I didn't.
Okay.
This week's going to be different because we had a different plan until about an hour ago.
Until about an hour ago, yeah.
All right, so let's start off the first one. You want me to read this one just because I can read it?
Go for it.
Yeah, let's do it. All right, so Adrix the Nev, I can read it. Kid can't even read.
Can you?
Kid can't even read. I can't even get it there. I'm not fat. There it is.
One,
Kid can't even read.
two.
Adrix and Nev twin casters. This is 2 green and a blue. It has Ward 2, which Ward is a new thing with the commander stuff. Basically means that it can't be targeted by spells or ability unless an opponent pays 2 more to do it.
2. There's Ward 8. There's Ward 3 life.
We'll get to the 8 one. I think it is a legendary. I believe it is in this one as well. Yeah. This is a Merfolk Wizard 2/2. If 1 or more tokens would be created under your control, twice that many of those tokens are created instead. It's not hard for me to say that this is totally a commander, and it could be at 99, but this is a good commander right here, don't you think?
If you're putting like parallel lives into a green blue deck, this goes right next to it. This card's pretty good.
Commander.
All right. We don't need to talk that long on it because it was on our top 10 before we decided to not do a top 10. So let's move on to the next one. And that one is the foil one, right? So that's going to be one of the toppers for the commander product there.
All right. Next one is Alabu, Ancient Witness, 3 colorless, red, white, 4/5 golem. Other artifact creatures you control have haste, and whenever 1 or more artifact creatures you control attack, Alabu, Ancient Witness deals X damage to any target and use Scry X, where X is the number of tapped artifacts you control.
I think it's totally a
commander.
That's a freaking sweet commander.
Yeah, I think you build around it. And that's, I don't know. I feel like a lot of these I was just like reading a lot and I just like zoned out halfway. So I was like,
That's funny.
whatever
That's
about
what
this
I do
one.
half the time when you're talking, and then I have to go back and start reading it. And I'm like, what did he say again? Because I wasn't listening. That's normally a Lowry thing to me, but that's what I've been catching myself doing.
So yeah, I agree. I think this card's
It's cool because
build around for sure.
The X doesn't have to be like of those attacking creatures.
Yeah.
So you could be tap your mono rocks out, and then you attack with a artifact creature, and then it deals the X damage, and you scry and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, and with it being Alibu dealing the damage, like if you give it like lifelink, you can gain a bunch of life. Or the death touch. Yeah.
That's your thing to do. That's
I like Basilisk Collar on this. Like
what?
Talking about it. Yeah, Inspiring Statuary in this deck. Obviously can't have Urza, but I like this card.
Yeah, I think it seems fun.
I like it.
All right. So we both agreed. Yeah, I already did that. So Brina the Demagogue. This is 1 white and a black for a 1/3 flying. What does it say? Bird. Yeah, okay. Mine got a little blurry there. Bird Warlock. Whenever a player attacks one of your opponents, if that player has more life than the other, more life than another of your opponents, that attacking player draws a card, and you put 2/1 counters on a creature you control. I mean,
remember what I just said earlier? Like what? What's going on?
I don't like this one very much.
I definitely don't love it
because it is benefiting your opponents. It's never benefiting
whenever
you.
A player attacks one of your opponents.
If that
and then it has to be like if that opponent has more life than another of your opponents. So like there's so many stipulations. And then attacking player draws a card, and then you get to put 2/1 counters on it. But if they don't attack somebody that has more life, then none of that triggers happen.
I guess the good part is it doesn't have to hit. You can just attack, and they get to draw a card.
Yeah. Like
it's forcing an attack to go
They
down.
draw a card.
Yeah, that's the part that sucks. You never draw a card. You only get 2/1 counters on stuff.
I don't know if I like that. Like that's not a fair comparison.
For a face card for Commander, I feel like it's
Muff garbage.
Yeah. Let's go muff garbage for sure. Sure. All right.
Next one.
Dika, Fractal Theorist, 4 colorless blue, 3/3 human wizard. It has Magecraft. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, create a 0/0 green and blue fractal creature token. Put X/1/1 counters on it. Where X is that spell's mana value, you can pay 3 colorless and a blue. Target creature token can't be blocked this turn.
So I like this card, but I think I like it more as a 99 maybe. But
this is pretty similar to like Metallurgic Summonings.
Exactly where I was gonna go. I like that card in similar like decks, but I don't like this being the main focus of it, I guess. I guess it'd be kind of cool. As a spell slinger deck, you're just casting spells and getting more creatures with it. But we already have other ones. What? Psy Master Thopterist? Or doesn't he do a similar giving you 1/1s?
Whenever you cast an artifact,
Yeah. I guess it's artifact, not.
But that's 3. This is 5. So
it fits
99. 99's fine.
99.
Yeah, I agree. I like it. The next one, we both are gonna dig this because this is gonna be in the top 10. Essex Fractal Bloom, 4 green and a blue, for a legendary creature Fractal, 4/4 flying. The first time you would create one or more tokens during each of your turns. You may instead choose a creature other than Fractal, or not Fractal, Essex, and create that many tokens that are copies of that creature.
Yeah.
So what did you make the comment when we were discussing this in Unsnipped?
So this is the Commander version of Mystical Reflections from Keldheim,
except for just for you. Instead of that one affecting, you can manipulate that for other players. This is more just for manipulating for you.
And for me, like I guess this is tokens that was like any creature, or maybe it was just tokens because I think we were still doing. But like it's all of those rules
No,
still
it was
apply.
whenever a creature came in.
Okay.
You could change it to whatever you wanted.
And so like, what is Avengers Zendikar makes 5
The same thing that
tokens,
did.
but
Yeah.
then you're like, well, those are going to be Avengers Zendikar. Then you're going to make 25 plant tokens. So this card's really good to build around.
Mm-hmm.
This is probably what I'm going to build with.
So definitely a
Commander.
Yeah.
Not necessarily. I don't see it being a 99. You can't really build around that necessarily. Or
I mean, if
build
you put it
around
into a
it, you
token deck,
yeah, I guess it would fit a little bit better. Can we move on to the next one? And I want to say, before we get to the next one, you remember when I picked a Tali?
Yeah, that was like a month ago.
We suck again. Got fucking printed again. Except I picked foil. That's my only
twice within like a month of each other.
And one with the super old border foil or boil printing of it, so it's even cooler than what I picked. Fucking
yeah.
I didn't actually did
that
realize
spec
that
is bombing hard.
Yeah. We should do like an year-end review of like the top specs and then the worst ones, because that's gonna by far be the worst one that
we know how people listen when we're trying to just have a joke episode. They just fucking 100 people don't listen. So
all right, Fane the Broker. This is 2 and a black for a legendary creature human warlock.
You're stealing my card.
Oh, did I? Oh, sorry. No.
Yeah, you did Essex. I did the fractal.
Okay, go ahead. I just was reading it to make sure that I got my reading present.
All right, we'll just edit that. That's cool.
Actually, I probably will. Except for the YouTubers will see the full thing.
Fane the Broker, 2 colorless and a black for a 3/3 human warlock. Yeah, crazy, right? So that you can tap this, sacrifice a creature to put 2/1/1 counters on target creature, or you can tap this, remove a counter from a creature you control, and create a treasure token. Or you can sacrifice or tap it, sacrifice an artifact to create a 2/1 white and black inkling creature with flying, and then you can pay 3 colorless and a black to untap Fane.
My start is here.
99.
And then my move up is, can we make him a commander? I think you can make him a commander, don't you think?
Yeah, 4 is a lot on tap, but like tapping for free seems solid.
Yeah. The problem, its downfall is it's not that free sack outlet or it's multiple sacks. Like, your
yep.
Woe Strider and the what's her name? That was before
Viscera Seer.
Yeah. But it's interesting because somebody's killing your creature, you can make treasure tokens, or you can sacrifice it to give you counters, or you can sacrifice an artifact to give you a creature. Like, it has a lot of things it can do. And it still has the ability to untap too. So it also doesn't say sacrifice another creature. So if somebody's killing this, you can kill
sacrifice it,
use it to do whatever.
Yeah, I think it's varied enough in what it does that it could work in a lot of decks.
But
so,
I think it's 99.
Yeah.
I think
you
can definitely build around
it.
Yeah, but I think you'll see that more in a 99 there.
Yeah.
What is it? Felicia?
Oh,
is it Felicia?
No, I don't know.
Felicia? Fang of the Silver Quill. This is 2, a white and a black legendary creature vampire wizard, 3/2 flying, has mentor, and then it also has, all right, I gotta lean in because my screen is super blurry for some odd reason.
You can click on it.
Yeah, there, it's bigger.
Whatever a non-token creature you control dies.
Hey, stop it. I didn't.
Sorry.
You little bastard. Whenever a non-token creature you control dies, if it had counters on it, create X tapped 2/1 white and black inkling. Kid can't even read. Creature tokens where X is the number of counters it had on it. All right. I think this is a commander.
Yeah. Yeah. Is this something that you would put in your Tesa deck to double up?
Yeah, that would be a good 99. Does it replace Tesa? No, Tesa's probably still there. Does this fit? This fits in a 99 Edgar as well because you're putting 1/1 counters on stuff.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And it's a vampire. I didn't realize that, even though you just said it.
Again,
you say a lot of words when you're reading a Magic card. You don't intake all of it. In a general you, not just you or me. Just
I feel like it's more of the
99,
but it can be its own. But I would take others over it, don't you think? I mean,
yeah. I like it enough.
It has the mentor part. I might have said menace, I think, but it's mentor. I think I might have said menace when I was reading.
Well, I was reading along with you, so it definitely turned into mentor in my head.
Okay.
If
I did say menace, I will cut it out and you will never know, except for me talking about it now. And then you're going to rewind to try to see if I said menace or I said mentor.
And get us more viewing minutes.
Yeah.
30 seconds.
So mentor does help because you do add counters with it attacking.
Yeah, but one isn't like special.
Right.
So
I'm still on
99.
99.
Yeah.
All right.
99.
All right.
All right.
Oh.
Guillaume
first.
Guillaume the gnome.
Gosh.
Now Guillaume
Master Chief.
Master Chef. It's a troll warlock, a 5/3 trample for 2 colorless black and a green. At the beginning of your end step, create a number of food tokens equal to the number of non-token creatures you had enter the battlefield under your control this turn. And then you can pay 1, sacrifice a food, target creature gains indestructible until end turn. Sorry, I'm very gassy, burpy. And then you tap it.
This is pretty sweet. I really like this card.
Do you? As the food complainer, somebody that doesn't even like potatoes?
You finally have a use for food with this one.
That's true.
So
food is rampant in our meta.
Here's the thing, though. There's a couple angles you can do to this. So it has built-in protection. So you're playing black and green. You're obviously playing lots of creatures and whatever. You're getting food tokens for each creature that comes into play that turn, non-token creatures.
Yeah.
And you can protect him or them by making them indestructible. Here's a little trick that you could do, though.
Okay.
What if you wanted to run through somebody? You sacrifice your food, tap their creatures by making them indestructible because it taps it, and you can run through their creatures because it doesn't say you have to make yours indestructible. You can tap down their stuff by just paying 1. Or you don't want them to attack you. You tap it down. You sacrifice a food token.
I don't like that.
Yeah. So this
I like that angle quite a bit.
Yeah. So this has some cool things you can do with it because you're not only protecting yourself, but you're making it so you're kind of controlling the board a little bit more.
Yeah. And you can definitely just like open up like a big chunk where it's like, okay, this player has this card that they can block. If it's tapped, I'd attack with this. And then you'd be like, oh, I can tap it. And then that person go like, after you sacrifice it, they're like, well, now I got to worry about the crackback though. And then not attack. And then you're just fucked out of food.
But you just cast more creatures and it's just at the beginning of your end step, you get more tokens. So it isn't like a one-time thing. You're always going to be getting food tokens as you're playing stuff. And it's only 1. It's finally making use of the shitty food tokens that cost too much to gain life. So this is awesome. There's multiple angles you can use with this. I can definitely see. Have I found my deck to build? It's back to green and it's black. This is my second favorite color combo.
You're pretty happy about this, aren't you?
Ooh, I might do it.
All right.
Me, the food token. I'm going to make the food token commander.
You wait until we get to the next red commander, and then you'll forget about the Master Chef right away.
Touche. All right. Is this one the Snake Wizard? Is he a new one?
We're just saying commander on that one, right?
Oh yeah.
Commander.
Next one is going to be
Isn't it me reading?
Liela.
Oh, so because Shito is a reprint then.
Correct.
Okay.
That was in the Azuri precon from
Okay, so am I on this one? Yeah. What is it? Lelia? The Blade Reforger. 2 and a red Spirit Warrior, 2/2, has haste. When it attacks, exile a top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. Whenever you exile one or more cards from your library and or your graveyard, put a 1/1 counter on her. Okay. She's not muff garbage. She gives you a little bit of extra play with your...
She's muff garbage.
You think so?
It's okay to say that. It's
red and giving you card advantage.
See, the problem that I have with this, and so, like similar to like Naeth, is they really neuter this kind of card when it says one or more cards. So like if
then you can't abuse it by removing your graveyard and giving a ton of counters to them.
Yeah.
That's like point.
So like you have to do it like in incremental spots. And that's...
But let's erase that bottom paragraph. The top paragraph giving you that card advantage. It also is not cast. So if you happen to get a land that's on top, you can play that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not convincing you very well. And it doesn't have to hit. It's just attacking. It's the Tali.
I'm going to attack with this creature that probably is very killable.
It's a 3/3. Right away.
I thought we were erasing that bottom paragraph.
Well, we're not really erasing it. Now we're talking about trying to keep them alive. You get a 3/3.
Now we're going to add it back in. And now I hate it more. So, because I still see exile one or more cards. Maybe 99. Like if I'm attacking with it a bunch, because you can trigger it twice.
You think it's muff?
I'm not going to be impressed with it.
That don't impress Lowry much. Wow. All right, we'll keep it at muff garbage. Go ahead.
You can call it 99 if you want. We are independent people.
I'm trying to think. Okay, I have red decks. I'm a professional red deck player. I won't play with this card. All right, let's get to our elephant.
Lochiel Clockwork Scholar, 2 colorless white, 2/4 Elephant Artificer. Prevent all combat damage that would be dealt to attacking artifact creatures you control. Whenever one or more artifact creatures enters the battlefield under your control, draw a card. This ability triggers only once each turn.
Sweet. We're at the very least a
99.
But are we all the way up to a commander? Just in
I
white?
I can see people wanting to build with it. Like it does enough for that. Like it prevents the damage.
So you go just mainly, this is your only white card pretty much, and everything else is going to be artifacts, right?
Well, it has to be artifact creature,
right?
Yeah. And so you can be heavy in that.
It gives protection to those creatures. You're getting
better attacking. Yeah.
You can't abuse the crap out of it.
Correct.
Because it's only once.
So it's super fair.
Mm-hmm. For 3 for a 2/4. I get up there. I think we get up to a commander.
Commander.
Yeah. This could be a fun one. Yeah. You want to build a mono white deck?
No. Oh. I read this one, right? Okay, you got this next one.
Yeah, you're so excited about this.
I
just on my list, but I don't know if it was going to make it or not. Nils Discipline Enforcer.
Yeah.
2 and a white 2/2 human cleric. At the beginning of your end step, for each player, put a 1/1 counter on up to one target creature that player controls. You don't have to do it, Lowry. You don't have to do it.
So just forget that first paragraph, right?
Each creature with 1 or more counters on it can't attack you or planeswalkers you control unless it pays X, where X is the number of counters on it or a number of counters on that creature. This just hit me though. It doesn't have to be those 1/1 counters.
Correct.
If a creature has any other kinds of counters on it, it has to pay 1 for each of those.
Correct.
So what if you built around this with other?
You're going to build a deck around by giving other people +1/+1 counters?
No, you give other counters. What if you gave -1/-1 counters that can't attack you? What if you gave it?
Why don't you just kill their creatures then?
Let's move back to a year ago from Ikoria, where you're giving flying counters and first strike counters. Those
I
are
liked your
counters.
-1 counter idea.
The others are counters as well. Those are adding counters to it. So what if you built it around that? Yeah? No? Am I getting you?
No, I don't like this card. I don't even know if I like this for 99. This is
99.
That you just said it. You said this is, and then it 99. Said that. So Lowry puts this at
garbage.
I'll have it.
I think I'm fine with it being 99. Like, it might be decent enough. Like, there might be enough counters out there. But like, do you play any cards?
And you don't have to put a 1/1 counter on stuff.
Yeah, I understand. That's what I was like thinking. Like, maybe it's just good enough that there's enough counters out there that's fine. But do you play any cards that like remove all counters from all permanents and or creatures? Like Aether Snap, or there's like Cannibal.
It has to be red.
What?
It has to be red because I don't
I
play
mean,
anything
but
but
would
red.
you? There's a couple of cards that just remove all counters from everything and would kill a lot of things, kill planeswalkers and stuff like that. And we just don't play that. And so is this good enough? Like on the inverse part, like,
why would you need to remove the counters though?
I'm just saying, like, they're kind of like the same ideas. Like, unless you're giving counters, this card is pretty niche. Yeah. And same thing with that. Like, unless you're giving other people counters.
How many times in games though do all your creatures have counters on that you put on them? You know, like other people do it too. You know, like
sure, yep.
This you play this, and this really hinders somebody that's 5-10 counters on their creatures. You know what I'm saying? Like this. You don't even need to do the 1/1 counters. It's just naturally what's in play. So
I agree.
Could be kind
but
of.
I'm just saying, like, how often are you removing or like using removal for that type of stuff? And this is technically worse than removal. Like, if you remove a counter, like a creature with a bunch of counters on it or something, then it's just gone. Yeah,
but why remove it if it can't attack you, but it can attack all other players?
Yeah, I understand that.
It's 12:20. Get out.
Octavia Living Thesis.
Here's
8
our
colorless
big octopus.
Yeah, 8 colorless blue. It is an 8/8 elemental octopus. This spell costs 8 less to cast if you have 8 or more instants and/or sorcery cards in your graveyard. It has Ward 8, so it can't be targeted unless they want to pay 8 more. And then it has
not getting targeted.
It's not getting targeted. And then it has Magecraft. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, target creature has base power toughness 8/8 until end of turn.
Garbage!
I don't like this one.
Is it? Yeah. I mean, yeah.
If it reduced it for each instant and sorcery card in your graveyard, then it would be better. But because you have to have 8, like 8 or more.
Yeah, I agree. Ugh. Yeah, I think it's just a bit too much work. There is 8 shows up 8 times in this card though. So that's kind of cool.
Does it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and the word 8. Interesting. Oscar. It might be Oscar. The Reconstructed. 2, a red and a white legendary creature giant artificer. 4/4 vigilance. Tap 1, sacrifice an artifact. Target creature you control gets 2+0 until end of turn. Tap X and tap. Okay, this is where I think I got confused reading it originally. Exile an artifact. No, I didn't. exile an artifact with mana value X from your graveyard. Create 2 tokens that are copies of the exiled card. Activate only as a sorcery. There's something later, I think, in our top 10 next week that the wording was really weird. I
like the copying thing. I don't like that first. Can we remove that first paragraph? And then I'll like the card more.
Take away something that you're never going to use, but you just don't want to see it. It's
benefit. I don't think I'd ever really want to like do the sacrifice to give it +2/+0 and
it seems pretty muff garbagey.
Yeah, until end of turn. But the copying, so like if you're doing like a commander sphere, pay 3, tap it, exile it from your graveyard, get 2.
2?
So like if you have cards that naturally want to sacrifice for benefits, then you get to copy it for free as well. Like I could dig that.
Yeah, I could get up to there. Are we going commander on this then? Building kind of around that?
Yeah. I don't think I want to do it 99, but it's like pure commander.
Yeah. I think you're on the next one.
Riona, Fire Dancer, 3 colorless red, 3/4 human wizard. At the beginning of combat on your turn, create X tokens that are copies of another target creature you control, where X is 1 plus the number of instants and or sorcery spells you cast this turn. They gain haste. Exile them at the beginning of your next end step. I kind of go blank when I'm reading as well. Of another target creature you control, where X is 1 plus. So 1 plus the number of instants. So you always will get 1 trigger off this at the beginning of your combat. And then this is kind of stormish. So like,
you're just making copies of a creature.
Yeah. I dig
that. It just
that.
depends on how many you make, like how many spells you cast beforehand.
But I like it. Or create a creature.
I think this fits more in a spell slinger deck, not being the face of it, because you need the blue kind of mixed in there. So I think I'm leaning towards more of the 99 because it fits in any spell slinger, right?
Yes. Yeah, I think that's accurate. I think it can fit there. But just like beginning of combat, being able to create a token of anything that you got, like for some reason I keep on thinking like Dockside Extortionist and just like
keep doing it over and
just
over.
Get a copy of that or 2 or 3 each combat step. You're just like, that's getting ahead. That's getting ahead quite a bit right there.
Yeah, it could be fun as a commander, but I think you're going to see this a lot. Like you said, I think it's going to be in a lot of
99s if it's being used.
Yep.
So, yeah.
All right. Ruxa, Patient Professor. I don't even know if I'm saying that right, but we're going with it. 2 and a 2 green, 4/4 Bear Druid. Whenever Ruxa enters the battlefield or attacks, return target creature card with no abilities from your graveyard to your hand. Creatures you control with no abilities get 1/1. You may have creatures you control with no abilities assign their combat damage as though they weren't blocked. I'm very meh on this because creatures with no abilities are pretty garbage.
Saplings?
Yeah, but you play those with stuff.
But it doesn't give them like menace for strike. Like there's plenty like tokens. That's this like non-flying tokens. This boosts it. I'm like it. No, I don't think so. I think it's 99.
Garbage.
This goes I'm probably gonna play this in my morph deck.
Garbage.
Because morph creatures don't have any abilities unless you're giving them to them. Being able to deal damage through combat even though they're blocked, like that's really cool too. That's Thorn Elemental stuff going on all the time. So fine. I agree with you. It's in the 99.
You're next.
You're right. All right. Tavash, Gloom Summoner, 4 colorless black, 4/4 human
really
warlock.
Quick.
Huh?
Did you see on Twitter somebody put this next to Will Ferrell on Zoolander because his hair's Mr. Mugatu?
They're the same face.
Yeah, I
Doesn't
totally see
anyone
it.
notice this? I feel like I'm
Now I
taking
can't.
crazy
I'm
pills.
just
unsee
like,
it.
it's just there.
To
I feel like I'm
bash,
taking crazy pills. All right.
Gloom Summoner, 4 colorless black, 4/4 human warlock, and has lifelink. And at the beginning of your end step, if you gain life this turn, you may pay X life, where X is the amount of life you gain this turn. If you do, create an XX black demon creature token with flying. 99 to garbage.
99.
Yeah, 99 will be good for life gaining deck. That's it.
But
right?
you gotta like pay all that life.
I know. If you gain life this turn, you may pay X, where X is the amount of never mind.
So you
can't
may
choose the
pay it.
amount.
Yeah. But you gotta pay all of that amount.
Yeah. It does have flying. No,
It has lifelink. Oh, the creature, the token. Yeah.
Veyran, voice of duality.
Duality.
Dual? No. Wouldn't it be
Duality.
Duality?
Duality? Duality is a word, right?
Roads. Now it doesn't even sound like a word anymore. Roads. 1, a blue and a red for an Efreet wizard. 2/2 has Magecraft. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, it gains 1/1 until end of turn. If you casting or copying an instant or sorcery spell causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger that ability Panharmonicons. It does an additional time.
Yes. This card's awesome.
Commander.
And
99.
Yeah.
because we
For
originally, this was in our top 10 originally, we were discussing this one.
I was fighting for it.
And I was saying, hell no. And I was saying,
No, you weren't.
I
You were just going, is it though? So yeah, this card, so if you put this in like Niv Mizzet Perun, you'll be pinging twice, drawing 2 cards. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, this gets +2/+2 because it's going to double trigger itself.
the card we just discussed a little bit ago with the blue card that gave you the
fractals.
Or is it I was thinking fractals. Of the other one that
anything with Magecraft is going to get doubled. Calamax goes crazy because it creates a second copy off of tapped Calamax, and then each count of the deck is really cool.
Can I pause you for a sec? Okay. All right, now you're good now. I hope it stays that way in the video because you slowed down so much it sounded like you were wasted. You're like, it's the Calamax.
Calamax. It's a
so say the Calamax part again if you can. I don't know if you know what you just said there because that's when it cut out.
So Calamax, it will copy the trigger. So the trigger from Calamax that creates a copy when it's tapped, that will be copied. So you get 2 copies off of that initial
Calamax. Why did they make this for Calamax? This sucks.
This is amazing. And then each time that you're adding a 1/1 counter on it, you would add 2. So this would add automatically 4 1/1 counters on a Calamax whenever you cast 1. It's a sorcery when it's tapped.
You just made my brain explode.
Yeah, there's a lot of triggers. This works. And anything that whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, create a creature, it will create a second creature. Or whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, you deal X amount of damage, and this will double that damage. This card's great. This card's absolutely fantastic.
Is this going as your commander, or are you going more in 99 when you play that card?
This goes in my Calamax deck, which is one of my favorite decks I've ever played. Yeah, I love that deck. So
your second favorite is Feather. All your little spell slinging, all that crap. Well, I wonder what's going on there.
What? Whatever. We're good. Don't judge me.
All right, Eudora, Grave Gardener. This is
one.
Oh, did I?
Will-O-Dusk?
Oh, is that a new? I for some reason recognize that one. All right,
I saw it on Twitter.
I'm gonna go back to that one. Will-O-Dusk, Essence Seer. This is 1 black and a green. It's a dryad. Oh yeah, we have another dryad druid. We had a dryad druid last week. 2 of them in one set. 2.
What kind of nuts is this?
Never heard of a dryad druid. 3/3. Tap 1, tap it. Choose another target creature. Put a 1/1. Put a number of 1/1 counters on it equal to the amount of life you gain this turn, or the amount of life you lost this turn, whichever is greater. Activate only as a sorcery.
Okay, sorcery.
Okay. So the amount of life lost means you're having to do it to yourself because people aren't attacking you at sorcery speed. You can't do it on other people's turns. It only got to be in your turn.
So fetch into a shock, into Thought Seize, and then put 5/1/1 counters on something.
Garbage!
I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
There's too much going on with that. It's choosing
Eudora. This is Dora's cousin. Grave Gardener, 4 colorless green, 5/5 tree folk. Boo! It was a good joke. My son loves Dora.
Did you watch the movie, by the way?
No, of course.
Oh, you should watch it. It's really funny because it's her in real life, but then they do a lot of like adult jokes, but then kids love it. It's funny.
I'm not.
Where she like starts looking at the camera, and then they're like, "What is she doing? Who is she talking to?" Anyways, go ahead.
Should I just start over? Eudora, Grave Gardener, 4 colorless green, 5/5 tree folk druid. Whenever another non-token creature you control dies, you may return it to the battlefield face down under its owner's control. It's a forest land.
Pretty sweet.
Yeah. Have you used the talk on Twitter?
I didn't see what happened on Twitter.
So there are plenty of cards that turn your like lands or forests into creatures. Then like it's still a card. It's not a non-token. And so your lands that attack will always just come back, be a forest, and then a creature again.
Wait, say that again?
So when that creature dies and it comes back as a forest, it's not a token, which is this is saying whenever another non-token.
Because if you have any abilities of flipping, you can flip it back over.
Yeah, so you can morph a creature card back as well. But if you're turning your forests or any of your lands into creatures and then it dies,
then it comes back as a
Dora
forest.
will come back as a forest face down and then still a creature because you have that effect on the field. So that's also pretty cool.
I like this as a commander, but I really like it as a 99 too if you're not playing a lot of recursion. Right?
Yeah. Yep.
You think? So do you lean more to than I feel like a 99. I could see this going in.
Oh, I think it's commander as well. It's commander 99.
99.
Commander.
99 commander.
Do we know what to call this one? Because they fucked up the wording.
Zephi?
Yeah.
Thunder Conductor?
Yeah. Thunder Conductor or Thunder Collector?
Why?
Just read the card. Fuck.
2 red and 2 blue and a red for a 1/4 human shaman has Magecraft. All right, so here we go. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, scry 1. If that spell's mana value is 5 or greater, create a 4/4 blue and red elemental creature token. If that spell's mana value is 10 or greater, it deals 10 damage to an opponent chosen at random.
Mm-hmm. So you just said it, but after the 10 or greater, Zaffy Thunder Collector. And yeah, so they fucked up the wording.
That's funny. I didn't catch that.
Yeah.
Okay.
You could get a job at Wizards because they don't catch it either.
Because I always just say I don't want to read the whole card again. Is the casting a spell and scrying 1 good enough? Just on its own?
No.
For how much to come out? 4? That seems pretty sweet. I don't think you're going to hit that 10 very often.
No, I don't think so either. Especially if it's random.
Yeah.
It's got to be random. But you might be able to create like a bunch of like 4/4s. But I don't think just casting an instant or sorcery, scrying 1, I don't think that's good enough.
Muff garbage!
Maybe.
At the
I mean, I
highest-
can
at
see.
the
I can see it
highest-
in 99.
At the
Like
highest,
it's fine
99.
in 99. Yeah.
Agree. All right. That should be it, right?
That's it.
Woo!
Wow, that was a breeze.
Wasn't too bad at all.
Breeze.
Who am I? Your commander.
Do you think that the Fox version of the X-Men movies made a big mistake not using the animated
Yes.
series music?
For sure.
They should have, right?
Yes.
All right.
I want this as my soundtrack for life right now.
For life. God, that is such an intense day.
Dude, I would be strutting around all day with that music going. I'd probably
You'd be
be
like-
punching people for no reason. I don't know why.
Morph! Morph!
All right.
One
Spec.
to rule them all.
All right. What we are doing for one spec is what are we doing this week, actually?
Amonkhet.
So what we do is we pick one card from each set, and we kind of been working our way backwards until new stuff comes out. So we'll probably be doing Strixhaven soon again, maybe. And we're picking one card from that you can put all your chips and money in on, and potentially come away a winner in the end, unless you go into a Tolly, because then you just suck ass.
You really are beating yourself up about that one.
Come on. It was a month and change ago.
That's been
And it's been
reprinted
printed
twice.
Granted, I did not say to go for the non-foils because I always say go for the foils typically. So, anyways, why don't you start us off with your pick, Larry?
Oh, your pick? My pick. Same thing. Same thing. All right. I'm going to go with Vizier of the Menagerie.
Menagerie à trois.
I'm going to steal your joke and fuck it up anyway. All right. All right. So what I would go for is the pre-release foil, which is going for about $10. This card's in 6,400 decks. You're able to play creatures off the top of your deck with this, and it's only like 4 mana, and it's a solid creature for sure.
And it could fit in
a
like,
ton of decks.
Well, because
it's
it can
consider it card advantage.
Well, yeah, but not only that, like it helps in that you can cast creature spells and spend mana as any color. So if you're
That's
in
also true.
multicolor, so if you're like 3, 4, 5 color decks, this is a sweet card in that, so you can cast anything pretty much. I didn't have a copy of this, and I ended up getting this week because I was like, why don't I have this? I know you've had this card.
I have 1 or 2 of them. I mean, the question is how high is it going to get? I can't tell you that. I don't know. Like, is this a double up? I'm not sure.
At foil?
At the pre-release foil, I think it can get to 20.
Yeah, and what do we have? Like there was 14 copies left of the pre-release foil.
Yeah.
I don't know. I see this being printed in a Commander product again, but I don't see it being a foil, you know?
I can agree with that.
Yep. Cool story.
So, what do you got?
Mine's kind of a little shout out. This is to Matt the Monorock, because he played this last week, not this past week, the week before. It's Throne of the God Pharaoh, which I've seen the card, but I haven't seen it played.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a 2-drop artifact. At the beginning of your end step, each opponent loses life equal to the number of tapped creatures you control. So he played this at the end of his turn. In response, I sacrificed treasure tokens with Magda, went and got the Platinum Empyrean, so my life didn't change.
Gotcha.
But he hit everybody else for the life. It's pretty brutal because it can be a surprise type thing that people don't actually see. And you're just attacking with a bunch of meat force, like 10 1/1s or 10 2/2s, and As long as they survive, you get to the end of your turn, your second main phase, you drop this down and everybody's losing a shit ton of life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Surprisingly, it's in 10,000 EDH rec decks. The foils are at about 8 for regular foils, and the pre-release foils are at 15. I think I'm kind of focused on the foils, but there are only 17 copies left, and there are only five copies of the pre-release foils. So that's
low inventory.
Yeah, these are low. These have been on the incline. The non-foils are they're at $6, so they're not that much far behind. I think this easily hits 15 to 20 within the next 6 months to a year, probably, because it's just been on an incline.
I think this is a pretty solid casual card. I like this card as a spec for sure.
So, okay, let's not have a 2-hour episode this week. So let's cut it off here.
Sounds bueno.
All right. So the next 2 weeks, you guys are going to be getting our top 10s for both the Commander.
And we'll figure out, probably for the Commander next week, since we're like halfway there.
Yeah, we were almost done.
Oh,
listen to Unsnipped and you'll find out, you two people.
You're gonna be
I didn't even release Unsnipped yet this week because I was like, no one's watching it. Except for Lowry accidentally.
I clicked on it twice last week.
Oh, you were the two. All right. Well, that should do it for this week. We will catch you guys next week.
Thanks for listening.
See ya.
Bye.
Oh, I forgot. I got to get to it. Get to the at the
bye 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 bye.
Love, I'm talking tatas. Love boobs, I'm bonkers for honkers. I love boobs, thanks for the memories. I love boobs.
Classic.
It's already a classic.
Classic.